right, this is your monthly recap for March 2026 regarding AI, jobs, and money. Number one, let's talk about Oracle, which is the most human story of the month. What's happening now is that as of March 31st, Oracle began laying off thousands of employees while increasing spending on AI infrastructure and data centers. So employees received the early morning emails telling them their role was eliminated and that the same day would be their last working day. And man, that's cold-blooded, man. That's terrible. No advance notice. Like, man, I'm truly sorry for anyone that's experiencing this. So how big is the numbers that are being affected? So confirmed is thousands of jobs. The estimated is likely low to mid thousands globally. I did see some Reddit threads that were saying 20,000, maybe 30,000, but I couldn't find a reputable source that confirmed an actual concrete number of layoffs that will be happening. Who is affected by this at Oracle? It looks like Oracle Health, Sales, Cloud, Customer Success roles, and NetSuite roles. So this hit both technical and business roles at the same time. So what this does not mean is that AI did not replace these jobs overnight. It means that the company is restructuring while putting more money into AI. So the safest way to say it is that a large multi-thousand job reduction tied to restructuring during increased AI spending. And what's starting to happen is that we're seeing a shift. So fewer people needed in some of these roles, while more and more money is going into the AI systems, which has been common the last few months while we keep hearing about these AI restructurings in these larger companies. So number two, let's talk about Meta and their new plan. That actual plan matters before it even happens. So Meta is reportedly planning a restructuring that could affect up to 20% of its full workforce. Meta's workforce is around 79,000 estimated. So the potential impact is up to 16,000 jobs. And remember, we have to think that 16,000 jobs place into the forever layoff category. And this is weird, but it's unfortunate. Let's look at why these layoffs can push the company's stock higher. So sometimes stocks go up when layoffs are announced, and that's because investors see lower cost, improved efficiency, better profit outlook, and that's why layoffs and rising stock prices can happen at the same time. And we'll notice that pattern with these larger public companies when they announce these AI infrastructure layoffs. So what this does not mean is that it's not a confirmed final number yet. It's a reported plan, but it's still something to pay attention to. So what's starting to happen is that companies are flattening their teams. They're running leaner, meaning that, well, we all know what that means, right? That means that the remaining employees, they're gonna work the dog shit out of them and put more and more pressure on them while they try to take home more profits, which is terrible. And the other one is using AI to increase output. So number three, let's take a look at the Anthropic Report and where they say the pressure is building. So what the data is showing is about 49% of jobs have at least 25% of their tasks touched by AI. Most exposed roles would be programmers, customer service roles, and financial analysts. So what this means is that we are not seeing a spike in unemployment yet, but what we are seeing is that slower hiring, especially for younger workers, entry into these roles is getting harder. And what this does not mean is that this is not a mass layoffs, it's a slower shift, so fewer entry points into white collar work, which is going to affect the unemployment numbers in the future. And what's starting to happen is that the early impact looks like fewer junior roles, fewer openings, and slower hiring, which, how is that going to help the economy? All right, so let's take a look at markets and money and what March actually signaled. So in March, it showed a clear split similar to February. So AI spending is rising, and then the job pressure is also increasing at the same time. And that matters because the economy depends on people earning and spending. So number four, let's take a look at how AI shook up the cybersecurity market. So what's happening now is that AI is starting to detect threats faster than a human can and handle some tasks automatically. So this created concern and led to a huge sell-off in some of the main cybersecurity stocks. So why this matters is because AI is not just changing office work, it's changing entire industries, job demand, and how companies operate. And what this does not mean is that cybersecurity is not going away for humans, but new threats may actually create new types of jobs. But at the same time, we have to look at and pay attention to what jobs AI can eliminate and take over in the cybersecurity space. All right, number 5, let's take a look at AI chat logs in court, which is an important clarification to something that happened earlier in March. A federal court ruling suggested that chatbot conversations may not be treated as private in the same way as conversations with a lawyer. So an important clarification to look at is that this came from a federal case. It is not a nationwide rule yet, and it does not apply everywhere automatically. But what this does mean is that do not assume your chatbot conversations are private, which is scary, right? So if you're planning something crazy out there, just know that they'll be able to use that against you in court. And so what's starting to happen is that courts are beginning to define how AI fits in real world rules. So let's look at what changed in March. We had layoffs become more visible, which is becoming more and more common now, unfortunately. We had white collar pressure became clearer. Hiring slowed in key areas. What stayed the same is that even though that we're being distracted by all this war talk, AI is still advancing, companies are still adjusting, and most jobs are still not fully replaced, which is a good thing. So what we're going to watch for in April is that will Oracle layoffs expand or become clearer? Will Meta move from planning to actual action in the layoff category? Or will hiring continue to slow? Or will more government AI rules appear in the future? So overall, March wasn't too bad. It wasn't just about one headline. It's more about direction. And what we're seeing is that where money is going, where jobs are tightening, and how uneven this shift really is. So this is not fast. It's not something that's simple. It's something that's going to keep unfolding over time. And that's why we are going to be here to track it, so we can always come back later and look back at what happened in the world during these months of this huge transition that we're living through. So I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.